Namaskara and a heartfelt good afternoon to you all. I, Prithvi Prabhu, take immense pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to this extraordinary gathering. On behalf of the Indian Institute of World Culture, my welcome extends to all the members from the art fraternity who have graced this occasion with their presence. The Indian Institute of World Culture was founded on the 11th of August 1945 in the suburb of Baswangudi, and it owes its existence to the foresight, vision and sacrifice of its founder president Sri B.P. Wadia and his spouse Sri Sophia Wadia. The prime objective of the institute is to foster the growth of a truly cosmopolitan spirit among citizens of all nations. Occasions like these are a constant reminder that our institute, right from its inception, has been a patron of art and culture through exhibitions and talks. The legacy that lies in the art section of the institute. Shri Sanjay Chapolkar is the present director of the art section at the institute. Today, we are honored to have in our midst a luminary whose contributions to the world of art and art history are unparalleled. Suhas Baholkar ji is here today with us, and it's a thing of honor. Thank you, sir, for being here today with us. Sir, your presence here today is a testament to your passion for art and your eagerness to share the accumulated wealth of knowledge that you have garnered through your journey. We have assembled here today to embark on a unique journey, a journey through life and work of a visionary. It's an important opportunity to gain invaluable insights, to be inspired, and to appreciate the profound impact art has on our lives. I take this opportunity to introduce our esteemed speaker very briefly, as we will get to hear a lot more about Sir's life in the time to come. Suhas Vasant Bahulkar ji is a renowned painter, art teacher, art historian, conservator, art propagator, and curator. Born on the 10th of October 1954, Bahulkar ji is a multifaceted painter, is also familiar to many as a teacher and a prolific writer in Marathi. He has developed his own style of painting, fusing the heritage and culture of Maharashtra with the British academic realistic style. He won instant fame as a child, receiving many prizes at the national and international level in children's competitions. After completing his schooling, Bahulkar ji took admission at the Sir J.J. School of Art in Bombay. He passed the diploma examination of drawing and painting with a first class, winning the school's fellowship. Bahulkar ji's commissioned portraits of Lokmanya Tilak, Vinoba Bhave, Veer Savarkar, Swami Vivekananda, J.R.D. Tata, etc. in the collections of many reputed institutions like the Rashtrapati Bhavan, Parliament House, large business houses and many prestigious organizations are well known. Along with experiments in portraiture, Bahulkar ji has adopted a narrative style to express his ideas through the vanishing culture of Maharashtra. And he has won 2 gold medals for the Republic Day floats for Maharashtra in 1981 and in 1983. Some of his notable projects are the works in the Lokmanya Tilak Museum in Pune, Memorial of the Revolutionary Chapekar Brothers, Chinchwad, and the magnificent murals at the Swatantra Veer Savarkar Smarak. An important project taken up by Bahulkar ji was the Ram Darshan at Chitrakoot, a discourse on morality as explained in the Ramayana. Suhas Bahulkar ji has to his credit 18 solo exhibitions. He has also participated in over 40 group shows held in India and abroad. He was awarded the Silver Medal for the best entry in the exhibition of the Bombay Art Society in 1979. He was also awarded the best entry prize at the Centenary Exhibition of the Bombay Art Society and the Diamond Jubilee Exhibition of the Art Society of India. His entries received awards at the Maharashtra State Art Exhibitions of 1982 and 1984 too. He was specially honored by the Art Society of India for his invaluable contribution to the field of art in 2011. He was bestowed the Godavari Gaurav Puraskar by Kusumagraj Pratishthan in 2014. Bahulkar ji was given a Lifetime Achievement Award by Chaturang Pratishthan in Mumbai in 2018 and Roop Dhar Award by the Bombay Art Society in Mumbai in 2019. Bahulkar ji is also a trustee of the Bhau Daji Lad Museum in Mumbai since 2006 and was appointed the chairperson of National Gallery of Modern Arts NGMA in Bombay from 2015 to 2018. He has curated 3 important shows for NGMA on A.A. Almelkar, M.V. Dhurandhar and about the 125th exhibition of the Bombay Art Society in 2017. An author of many books, he was conferred with D.Litt by the Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapeeth, Pune in 2018. So it's an honor that you're here with us today. I would request the art director, Sri Sanjay Chapolkar, to give a small token of gratitude. So I hope all of you enjoy this session by Suhas Bahulkarji. Sir, now the stage is yours.
I'm really thankful to the institute where I'm sitting. It's a great place. Working in different fields of art in a great way because of sacrifice of Wadia ji, his spouse, and all the Karyakartas here. I'm proud to be here to tell about my voyage. And it's actually a sudden happening in my life, because I came here for one meeting. I called my old friend Uday Palnitkar that I am here. And he contacted Mr. Chapulkar, and I am before you. I mean, it was only with 3 days short notice. If something has to happen, it happens because that is destiny's wish. Our life is also such. Our life is destined by somebody else, and we live on that path. The only thing in our hand is to try, and try. Accept whatever comes before us and do it in the best way without thinking of a fruit. I think I lived that life, and here you will get an example of my work. Few works, especially in the field of visual art. Next. Now here are some of my portraits. The left-hand portrait is of Nanaji Deshmukh, Bharat Ratna Nanaji Deshmukh, who was a great social worker, who fought against emergency. He was called R.D. Chanakya. And I was instrumental in fulfilling his dream of Ram Darshan, the moral message of Ramayana at Chitrakoot. The next one is Vinoba Bhave. The next one is J.R.D. Tata. The lower one is O.P. Jalan, the Reserve Bank governor. And the right-hand side lower one is of Camlin's founder, Kaka Saheb Dandekar. Behind every portrait, there is a story. Vinoba Bhave's portrait I did for Vinoba's birthplace called Gagode in Pain district. One Sarvodaya Karyakarta, Vijay Diwan, and his friend came to me, and they said, we have seen your Savarkar's portrait. We have seen the photograph of your portrait in Rashtrapati Bhavan of Lokmanya Tilak. And we want to put a portrait of Vinobaji. And they brought some photographs. They were good photographs taken by renowned photographers. But I was not satisfied with it. Because Vinoba's personality was a saintly personality. Vinoba writing, Vinoba speaking, this, that. I was not satisfied. I felt that Vinoba, as a saint and as a social worker, whom Gandhiji gave the first preference, his whole aura of the personality should be depicted. And I was reminded that one of the publication I saw one photograph, and I told them I have seen a photograph, Vinoba sitting, contemplating. They said, we don't remember, we are Sarvodaya Karyakarta, but we don't remember. I said, it was printed on Nava Bharat, which was published from Y. Y is called Dakshin Kashi. There are a lot of Sanskrit Pathshalas, there are a lot of Sanskrit scholars. Then they went to Y and searched Navabharat archive, and they found that photograph. That photograph was taken by one of the studio in Kashmir, when Vinoba was there for Bhudan Yajna. After getting that photograph, this portrait was done. And the background was dark initially. And normally what we do is we put an aura behind the face to show the strength, power, and godliness or saintliness, which Vinoba never believed. And I didn't want to paint like that. And suddenly, I was thinking about the portrait and thought came to my mind that when there is existence of knowledge, when there is existence of spirituality, the whole atmosphere becomes charged, the whole atmosphere becomes enlightened. So why not do the background in a light color? And this is the result. The next one is J.R.D. Tata in Parsi dress. You all must be knowing Keku Gandhi, who started a gallery in Mumbai, Kemold Art Gallery. Very famous and a first gallery in Mumbai, a private gallery. So he contacted me. He said, we don't have J.R.D.'s photo in Parsi dress. We have many photographs of his face. And you have to do a portrait in Parsi dress. So I told him that Keku, do one thing. If possible, get J.R.D.'s Parsi dress. I mean, it was kept well, so I got it. Then I wanted a model. I opened the dress, saw it, and I felt that why not Keku Gandhi himself? He was Parsi. The dress was in a Parsi fashion. I requested Keku, why don't you try it? So he said, me? J.R.D.'s dress? What nonsense was you are talking? I said, I want to just make some studies and then only I will be able to paint that portrait. Don't think of anything else. Just wear that dress. He wore it and it fitted exactly, except for the pant was little short. It was coming up to here. Then Keku posed before me. I did some studies. The dress is from Keku's model, and the face is painted from photograph. The middle one, O.P. Jalan, Reserve Bank Governor. The portrait was almost complete. And the governor came to my studio, he saw the portrait, he was extremely satisfied, gave some little suggestions. And after finishing, it was to go to Reserve Bank. I have done many portraits of Reserve Bank governors up to Raghuram Rajan. The portrait was in the studio, and suddenly, the 26 July 2006 calamity came. And in my studio, the water entered. It was on the ground floor. It is on the ground floor. Portrait was on the easel, but the water remained there for a long time. Then there was a lot of mud. And the portrait was lying there, though it was little up on the easel, which caused a lot of fungus on the portrait. I was really disturbed. It was complete portrait to be sent to Reserve Bank. The frame was ready, everything was ready, but the fungus was there. I tried to clean it, but I couldn't do that. Then I wrote a letter to Reserve Bank that this is the problem. I can't give this portrait which has a fungus. I will retouch it, but the fungus will again come out. The treatment will take a long time. So please get it done from somebody else. The Reserve Bank authorities sent the letter to O.P. Jalan, and the governor replied, I like the portrait, and if it is damaged, Mr. Bahulkar will do it again. Let him take as much time he wants. So every painting, there is a story behind it. There is something happening behind it, not only in the mind of the artist, but at the same time, Externally also a lot of things happen. Next. This portrait is of one of the industrialists, Bhavarlal Jain. Jain Pipes is a company. And he hails from Ajanta. His village is near Ajanta. And very colorful personality, रसिक जिसको बोलते हैं, उस तरीके की पर्सनालिटी थी. तो मैंने ये सोचा कि उनका पोर्ट्रेट बनाना है तो हिज पर्सनालिटी कैन बी डिपिक्टेड बाय द संस्कारा ही हैड while staying near Ajanta. So this is outcome of that portrait. So I call it a conceptual portrait, not only painting a face of a person. Next. These are some of my projects. The left one, upper one, I have done a very big mural, 30 feet long on Upanishads in Nehru Center, in the section Discovery of India. So this is a detail of a Nehru Center project. That is Uddalaka Varuni and Shweta Ketu Samvad. It's a story of Upanishad, and that is depicted here in Indian style. The lower one is again Nehru Center's work. And the right hand side is my Tilak Museum. And this is a diorama of a Tilak Museum. And the table, the cupboards, earth, then the Ravi Verma print, watch, everything there is used by Tilak. Only a sculpture is made, the clothes are stitched, and they were worn on the sculpture. So this is Tilak Museum. Next. This is my portrait in Rashtrapati Bhavan, Lokmanya Tilak. When it was decided that I will do a portrait of Lokmanya Tilak, I contacted Lokmanya Tilak's grandson, Jayantrao Tilak, who was MLA and who was editor of newspaper Kesari. I asked him for some photographs. He gave me all the photographs and asked and told me, select whatever you want. But at the same time, he got done portraits from my guru, Gopal Deuskar, who was Royal Academician. He knew that artist needs many things, and few things are used by the personality he is going to portray, if possible. One evening I got a call that I am coming to Mumbai with the उपरण्याला काय म्हणतात, उपरण्याला काय म्हणणार, उत्तरीय शल्य, हां, पगडी used by Lokmanya Tilak, and the footwear, Puneri Joda. And next morning, he came by flight from Pune to Mumbai. My studio is very close to airport. And he handed over these things and told me that these are used by Lokmanya Tilak. Take care. I was really thrilled. I found out the model suitable for that. That model wore that dress. The angarkha I got stitched, dhoti I had in house. And I made some studies like I did for J.R.D. Tata. And the outcome is this portrait. There is another portrait which is full, which is in Tilak Museum. Next. I have spoke about this. These are some of my paintings. I was inspired by the painting, the Maharashtrian culture, when I did murals for Raja Kelkar Museum in Pune. Those murals were based on Peshwa period, or rather first Bajirao's period. That time I realized that there is so much in our culture, in our tradition, and in our history. We are just following West. We are not thinking of our own heritage. हमारे पास इतना है, उसकी हम दखल ही नहीं रहे अपनी कला निर्मिति के लिए. The Britishers started the art schools. The first art school was started in 1719 Shanwarwada by James Wells. Then Madras School of Art, then Calcutta School of Art, then JJ School of Art, and then Lahore. And our whole working system or the visualizing changed, and we followed Britishers. There was a revivalist movement in Bengal in 1896, and in 1920 in Mumbai, that is Bombay Revivalist. Except for that, we have been following West blindly. After studying various vadas and temples, paintings, murals, I realized that we must think about ourselves. And then I started painting, and this is the outcome of the painting I did using some miniatures, old doors, the decoration around it, and the figures, which is a combination of Western and Eastern. Next. These are some of the floats I did. This is the first float I did for R Day Parade. That is coronation of Shivaji Maharaj, which got a gold trophy. It is made on a tractor which carries aeroplane, trailer, and the tractor pulls that. So the tractor and trailer is decorated on the subject decided. And you might be seeing every state exhibits there, or every state send their tableaus for 26 January parade. 81, that was our first experience, and that got gold trophy. Then 83, I got gold trophy. And then till 89, I did tableaus for Government of India, for Government of Maharashtra. Next. This is another photograph of a tableau. Next. This is again a detail of a minister viewing all these things. Next. So basically, what you have seen is my portrait, few of my paintings, then the work like tableaus. And in 1995, Nanaji Deshmukh came and met me. And he said, what you do? That time I left JJ after teaching for 20 years. And my dream was to see the country. My dream was to paint and experience our multilingual, multicultural, great India. Nanaji met me and it changed my life. Nanaji said, you have left JJ. You say you are going to do these things. But what will happen with the painting you do? So I said, I will exhibit it and people will buy it. The next question was, who will buy it? I told the names, and of course they were rich people. Birla, Bajaj, Indian Oil Company, Toshniwal Brothers, I mean all these rich people. So his one statement which changed my life, and that was, so you paint for rich people only. Don't you think that you should paint for common man of this country, the ordinary Janata of this country? I became introvert and I said, what I should do? That was my question to him. And then he started speaking that Rama stayed for 11 and a half years in Chitrakoot during his exile period, Vanvas period. I have a dream that there should be something through art, painting, sculpture, which will give the moral message of Ramayana. I want to create a center or a place where the message will inspire the next generation. There will be no puja, there will be only inspiration. That moved me, and I said, let us see how we can go ahead about it. It was March of 1995. That time I had a little problem with my knees. I was walking with crutches, and my operation was decided in June after some formalities. So I told Nanaji that after June, after my operation, I will come. He said, no, you have to come immediately. And in the month of May, on 26th May, I went to Chitrakoot. In Chitrakoot, what I experienced was beyond imagination. It was Somavati Amavasya, and 5 to 6 lakh people gathered there for Pavitra Snan in Mandakini and Parikrama of Kamadgiri Parvat, where people believe that Ram and Lakshman and Sita stayed. I experienced the heat there. The temperature was nearly 50. I was asked to do the parikrama in the morning. As I was walking with crutches, Nanaji decided that with 2 bamboos and a chair, a strong chair like this, उसमें ये बांस बांध के मुझे उठा के लेके जाएंगे. So he prepared that. That was on the jeep. I came out of the crutches. He said, this is the arrangement. 4 people will lift you. And you see, do the parikrama, select the place. So we went to the parikrama first dwar, the entrance. And I saw thousands of people were walking, young, old, beggars, learned people, small children, men, women, with different styles. वो कोई लेटते हुए जा रहा था, तो कोई ऐसा रोल लगाते हुए जा रहा था, कोई हाथ में डंडी लेके था, लूले थे, लंगड़े थे, अंधे थे. वो सब देख के मैं इतना हैरान हो गया. मैंने कहा क्या श्रद्धा है ये. यानी हमारे देश में राम और कृष्ण, इन महापुरुषों के ऊपर जो श्रद्धा है वो अद्भुत है. और मुझे नाना जी ने हमारी डिस्कशन में कहा हुआ एक जो सेंटेंस था वो याद आया. उन्होंने कहा कि मैं राम को भगवान के रूप में नहीं दिखाना चाहता, मानव के रूप में दिखाना चाहता हूँ, क्योंकि हम हिंदुस्तानी लोग किसी भी महापुरुष को भगवान बनाने में माहिर है, और अगर महापुरुष को भगवान बनाया तो हमारी जिम्मेदारी खत्म हो जाती है. वी डजंट रिमेन रिस्पॉन्सिबल पीपल. मुझे वो सब देख के ऐसे लगा कि अरे ये प्रोजेक्ट तो मुझे करना ही चाहिए. ये उनका सेंटेंस भी याद में आ गया. और प्रोजेक्ट शुरू हुआ. हमने सोचा था कि वो 3 साल में पूरा हुआ. उसको 5 साल 8 घंटा 8 महीना 27 दिन लगे. अब उस प्रोजेक्ट में जो लोग मेरे साथ थे उनके सबके नाम यहाँ है. यानी मेरे सहयोगियों का नाम है जो मेजर कंट्रीब्यूटर्स थे, स्कल्प्टर्स थे, बाकी जो लोग थे. नेक्स्ट, this is in the entrance we have done a sculpture of Hanuman, 27 feet Hanuman ji. This is actually a cover of a catalog which we sell there. Next, this is the complex. Here is Hanuman ji. This side there is an entrance gate, beautiful entrance gate with a 30 feet long arch and a lobby below the at the entrance gate. Then we turn to the left, and that is, there are 5 halls, that is called Panchavati. One steps down, all the land is used there, upper level, middle level, lower level. We have not tried to make it plain. Then before entering the first hall, there is a sculpture of Valmiki. Next. A sculpture of Valmiki. Then in the hall number 1, there is world impact of Ramayana. There are mass leather puppets in Southeast Asia, wherever the Ramayana is depicted in the temples, that all is displayed. Then there is small gufa, which is created with the reference of a gufa in Chitrakoot itself, called Gupta Godavari. And after going through that gufa, in the second hall, at the entrance, this diorama is there. This is called Gurukul. यानी किसी को भी शिक्षा बहुत ज़रूरी होती है, बच्चे को अच्छी शिक्षा मिली तो ही वो अच्छा इंसान बन सकता है. This is the moral message of it. This is made out of sculpture, then the grass is used there, the bamboo sticks are used there for compound, the background is painted. So in Ganpati festival, we used to do some kind of decoration. This is extremely refined form of the Ganpati decoration or Durga Puja decoration, or here also the same thing must be happen. But if we do it to a great extent, it makes a very big impact. When George Fernandez, as a foreign minister, he came there for the inauguration, he said, मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है कि मैं साक्षात उस प्रसंग के सामने खड़ा हूँ. It's a 30 feet long diorama, covered with glass and with nominal lighting. Now we are doing a special lighting, museum lighting also. Next. This is first painting, Vishwamitra Jwara, Ram Lakshman Ki Mang. The size of this painting is 6 feet by 8 feet. Next. Actually, I was selected for this project because Nanaji contacted S.M. Pandit, Ram Sutar, Sadashiv Sathe, all the senior artists. I was just 40 that time. Everybody said about his medium. The sculptor said, you should do it in sculpture. The painter said, you should do it in painting. And I was the only person who said that, Nanaji, you should use 3 mediums. 1, painting, 2, relief, and 3, sculpture. It will break the monotony, and sculpture in the form of diorama. That's why I was selected for this work. And this is the relief. विश्वामित्र राम लक्ष्मण को लेके जा रहे और मानवों पर जो वहाँ के जो नागरिक थे, देहातों में रहने वाले, उनके ऊपर जो अत्याचार होते थे, वो देख के तुलसीदास का एक दोहा है, मुझे याद नहीं, लेकिन राम ने प्रण किया कि मैं इन अत्याचारियों का नाश कर दूंगा. नेक्स्ट. आई एम नॉट शोइंग यू ऑल द पेंटिंग बट सम ग्लिम्पसेस. दिस इज अहिल्या उद्धार. दिस इज अगेन 6 by 8 feet. और उसमें ऐसे दिखाते हैं कि शीला में से अहिल्या का उद्धार हुआ, यानी अहिल्या शीला बन गई थी. शी बिकेम स्टोन, ऐसे बताते हैं, ऐसी लोगों की मान्यता है. बट शीलावत हुई थी, ऐसा उसका मीनिंग उसमें से हमने निकाला, क्योंकि अहिल्या को समाज ने त्याग कर दिया था, वो अकेली रहती थी. ये उसका इंटरप्रिटेशन करके ये पेंटिंग किया है कि वो अकेली ही गुफा में रहती थी, कहीं दूर रहती थी समाज से. वो जो आश्रम था गौतम मुनि का, उससे वो बहुत दूर रहती थी. तो विश्वामित्र उनको लेके गए, राम और लक्ष्मण को, और अहिल्या को वो वापस समाज में लेके आए. वो उद्धार है. तो किसी प्रसंग का किस प्रकार से हमें इंटरप्रिटेशन करना चाहिए, ये भी सोचना चाहिए. चमत्कारों के ऊपर कितना ध्यान देना चाहिए, ये भी सोचना जरूरी है, क्योंकि चमत्कारों से ही समाज को भ्रमित कर देते हैं हम. वी जस्ट डिसीव द पीपल एंड देन द थिंग्स हैपन व्हाट वी आर सीइंग अराउंड अस नाउअडेज. नेक्स्ट. ये परशुराम राम संवाद का रिलीफ है. अब ये अगर देखेंगे तो ये फाइबर ग्लास में किया है. फर्स्ट इट वाज डन इन क्ले. इनिशियली द सेवरल ड्राइंग्स वेर डन. देन few drawings were selected. Then one drawing was finally selected. Then the final sketch was done. Then the dimensions were decided. And the clay model was prepared. उसका प्लास्टर मोल्ड बना के उसमें से ये फाइबर की कॉपी बना के उधर फिट की है. इसमें जो रंग दिया है वो सैंडस्टोन का है, एंड वी हैव क्रिएटेड अ सैंडस्टोन टेक्सचर देयर, सो दैट यू फील ऑन द वॉल इट इज़ अ सैंडस्टोन स्कल्पचर. अब इसकी भी एक कथा है. हमारी सब रिलीफ्स कंप्लीट हुई और चित्रकूट बहुत ही पिछड़ा इलाका था जब मैं गया. आई एम टॉकिंग ऑफ 95-97. उस समय चित्रकूट में एक भी होटल नहीं था. देयर वर ओनली धर्मशालाज. वी लोडेड ऑल द रिलीफ पार्ट्स और द रिलीफ्स इन 2 trucks. देयर आर 10 reliefs. And from Pune they went to Chitrakoot. The travel itself took 4 days. We reached Chitrakoot, and that was a period of December. And due to dearth of money, the packing was done with the grass. ये रिलीफ के ऊपर केवल घास लगा के उसको पैक किया था और ट्रक में भर दिया था. चित्रकूट बहुत ही पिछड़ा इलाका था. यह अनुभव तब मैंने किया. ठंड बहुत थी. वहाँ बिल्डिंग जो कंस्ट्रक्शन हो रहा था उसके लिए टेंट्स लगाए थे, एंड इन द टेंट्स ऑल द वर्कर्स वेर लिविंग. हमारा ट्रक पहुंचा और जब रिलीफ बाहर निकालना शुरू हो गया तो वो निकालते वक्त आई मीन ऑल द वर्कर्स दे रश्ड एंड दे जस्ट पुल्ड द ग्रास एंड दे वर रनिंग विद द ग्रास. We didn't realize, we city people, we don't know what happens actually in the living of those poor people who are living in the remote areas. सब घास लेके भाग रहे थे तो हमारे साथ काम करने वाला एक लड़का था, नाना जी ने भेजा था, श्रीपाल नाम था उसका. उसको पूछा तो बोले ये घास अगर बिछाएंगे टेंट में तो ठंड कम लगती है. और उनके घर में जो गाय है, गौवा है, उसको खिलाने के लिए भी वे लेके भाग रहे. और वो भी भागा, मेरे गौवा के लिए घास रखो, मेरे गौवा के लिए घास रखो करते भाग गया वो. आई मीन दीज आर द फैक्ट्स ऑफ लाइफ. वाइल वर्किंग ऑन सच प्रोजेक्ट आई लर्न मेनी थिंग्स. तो ये राम परशुराम संवाद का, और इसमें मैसेज ये है कि केवल बल से ही किसी को जीता नहीं जा सकता. ओनली विथ स्ट्रेंथ यू कैंट विन. एट सम टाइम्स यू हैव टू यूज अ वेरी मॉडेस्ट हम्बल वर्ड्स एज योर लैंग्वेज एंड कन्विंस द पीपल. तो इसका शीर्षक है या इसका मैसेज है विनयशील वाणी का प्रभाव. नेक्स्ट. ये एक राम राज्याभिषेक समाचार से अयोध्या वासियों में आनंद, ये इसका विषय है. ये 6 फुट बाय 10 फुट का पेंटिंग है. तो सब लोग आनंदित है. वो फूलों का डेकोरेशन कर रहे हैं, एक दूसरे को समाचार सुना रहे हैं. दे आर ऑफरिंग स्वीट्स टू ईच अदर. इस प्रकार से यानी घटना कोई भी ऐसी हो कि सभी लोगों को आनंद मिले, ये इसका मैसेज है. नेक्स्ट. ये है कैकेयी राम को वनवास जाने के लिए कहती है और दशरथ मूर्छित है. दिस इज अगेन अ डायरामा. ऑल दीज फिगर्स आर इन फाइबर ग्लास एंड द बैकग्राउंड इज पेंटिंग. ओनली अ प्लेन प्लास्टर वॉल एंड अ सीलिंग. और इसमें ये जो ड्रेपरी है वो सब स्कल्पटिंग में है. ओनली शेला इज रियल. द हेयर्स आर रियल, दे आर पेस्टेड एंड दे आर मोल्डेड एंड फ्यू हेयर्स आर पेस्टेड ऑन टॉप ऑफ इट. एंड ऑल द ऑर्नामेंट्स ऑफ कोर्स नॉट रियल. 1 gram gold ornaments are thrown there. But this diorama makes very good impact on whosoever sees it. यानी इस डायरामा के आगे सबसे ज़्यादा भीड़ रहती है, और जो संवाद होता है, द डायलॉग्स बिटवीन द व्यूअर्स, दैट इज़ रियली इंटरेस्टिंग. कभी मैं अभी उसका रिस्टोरेशन चल रहा है 25 साल के बाद, थोड़ा क्लीनिंग चल रहा है, तो मैं when I get bored, I go to this diorama and see the dialogues of the people. वो बिल्कुल फिल्मी डायलॉग होते हैं. कैसी चुड़ैल है, अपने पति को मरवा के बेटे को वनवास भेज दिया. नेक्स्ट. अब ये राम वनवास गमन का है. ये भी 6 फुट बाय 8 फुट का पेंटिंग है, और सब दुखी है अयोध्यावासी, और इसमें थोड़ा सा डिटेल बताया है. ऑल दिस पेंटिंग्स आर इन एक्रेलिक कलर ऑन कैनवस. आई डिसाइडेड अबाउट एक्रेलिक कलर्स because acrylic color becomes dead after painting. Oil colors is a living medium. तो एक्रेलिक में क्रैकिंग का, फंगस का संभव कम रहता है, इसके लिए एक्रेलिक इस्तेमाल किया है. 25 साल बाद इसको कुछ नहीं हुआ है. ओनली वार्निशिंग इज रिक्वायर्ड, लिटिल क्लीनिंग एंड वार्निशिंग. नेक्स्ट. ये भारद्वाज आश्रम का प्रसंग है. राम वनवास जाने से पहले अयोध्या से निकले, प्रयागराज पहुँचे, वहाँ भारद्वाज आश्रम में गए, और उन्होंने भारद्वाज मुनि से सलाह ले ली. तो उन्होंने कहा कि अत्रि मुनि अनुसुईया चित्रकूट में रहते हैं. यू आर गोइंग विथ योर यंग वाइफ सीता, सो गो एंड मीट अत्रि मुनि अनुसुईया, टेक देयर एडवाइस, एंड वेर एवर दे टेल यू टू गो, गो देयर. नेक्स्ट. देन राम कम्स टू चित्रकूट, and how he is mixed up with all the tribals in चित्रकूट, ये इसमें दर्शाया गया है. अभी रिस्टोरेशन करते वक्त, और थोड़ा 25 साल में मेरा भी ज्ञान बढ़ा है, थोड़ा अनुभव भी बढ़ा है. सो आई हैव एडेड फ्यू थिंग्स. आई हैव एडेड अ पिकॉक, आई हैव एडेड सम बर्ड्स हियर. ये जो पानी का है, इसके आसपास में थोड़े बर्ड्स दिखाए हैं. ऐसी कुछ एडिशन सब चल रही है. नेक्स्ट. This is Paduka Grahan diorama. This is another popular diorama. This Paduka Grahan took place in Chitrakoot itself. So वहाँ बहुत श्रद्धा से इस प्रसंग को लोग देखते हैं. Now we are going to do a good quality lighting, in the museum quality lighting. Here the lighting is only Philips tube, which has got yellow color, which is covered with tracing paper to reduce the light, and the dawn you see at the back is a combination of zero power ke bulb, yellow and red. So the technology was not there that time. This LED was not there. तो उसको पीछे थोड़ा सा डीप करके वहाँ पे एक लकड़ी की पट्टी पे वो होल्डर्स लगाइए, बल्ब होल्डर्स, और उसके ऊपर जीरो के बल्ब लगा के उसको पीछे रख दिया ताकि वो नहीं दिखे और ये लाइटिंग लगे. सो ऑल दिस इज एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन, ट्रायल एंड एरर से वो किया है काम. नेक्स्ट. ये अपना कांचनद्रुग का प्रसंग है. अब ये बनाते वक्त भी कुछ अलग ही अनुभव आया. इन द रिलीफ यू कांट शो अ डिस्टेंस लाइक दिस. नहीं तो राम और लक्ष्मण, राम सीता की पीठ दिख जाती थी. सो वी डिड अ स्केच, एंड इन द स्केच वी कुड मैनेज दैट. बट व्हेन एक्चुअली वी स्टार्टेड द वर्क, वी कंप्लीटेड राम, सीता, लक्ष्मण, एवरीथिंग वी कंप्लीटेड. और वो हिरन दिखाने के टाइम, ये हिरन आई एक्चुअली showed it somewhere here in a mild pencil strokes. But when you started doing it in relief, it was looking horrible. Then we added one plywood. फिर उस पे बनाया, then added again half plywood, और फिर ये establish हो गया. Because otherwise that मृग was not visible, कांचन मृग was not visible, क्योंकि वो पर्सपेक्टिव में बहुत ही छोटा हो रहा था. तो काम ही सिखाता है कैसे आगे जाना चाहिए. Next. This is the Sita Haran. Next. This is Jatayu Vadh. This is again relief. तो इसमें रंग और स्टोन ऐसा अल्टरनेटली आते हैं. नेक्स्ट. ये शबरी का प्रसंग है. नेक्स्ट. ये अग्नि साक्षी राम सुग्रीव का जो एग्रीमेंट हुआ वो प्रसंग है. हियर आई एक्सपेरिमेंटेड विद द बाउंड्रीज ऑफ द रिलीफ. नॉर्मली वो फ्रेम में रिलीफ किया जाता है, बट आई डिसाइडेड दैट वी विल एक्सपेरिमेंट विद द एजेस ऑफ द रिलीफ एंड वी क्रिएटेड दिस काइंड ऑफ शेप. नेक्स्ट. यह हनुमान का लंका की तरफ उड्डान. 2 साल पहले वी हैड अ मीटिंग इन चित्रकूट आफ्टर 23 ईयर्स. बीच बीच में गया था, लेकिन 2 साल पहले जब मैं गया था, that time one attendant there who stands there for every day as a caretaker, nobody should touch, to direct the people and all that. He has been working there for 8 years. I was taking around, he came and very politely he said, "Sir, आपसे बात कर सकता हूँ?" तो मैंने कहा बिल्कुल करो. नहीं, मैं कुछ बता सकता हूँ. मैंने कहा बोलो ना. बोला आप गुस्सा तो नहीं करेंगे? मैंने कहा नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं करूँगा. बताओ बताओ तुम. उसको थोड़ा धीरज आ गया. ही बिकेम लिटिल कॉन्फिडेंट. और उसने हमारी उस समय की गलती 23 साल के बाद बताई. और वो गलती थी, हनुमान जी की तो पूंछ निकाली है, लेकिन जो वानर सेना नीचे है उनकी पूंछ निकालने की रह गई थी. अभी वो काम मैं पूरा करके आया हूँ. इन द मंथ ऑफ मार्च ओनली आई कंप्लीटेड दैट. नेक्स्ट. यानी किसी से भी हम सीख सकते हैं. दिस इज द मैसेज. यह अशोक वन का है. नेक्स्ट. ये राम विभीषण संवाद. हियर ऑल्सो वी हैव एक्सपेरिमेंटेड विथ द बाउंड्रीज. नेक्स्ट. Next. This is again a diorama of Setu Bandhan. इसमें भी I mean lot of experimentation was done. Doing a sketch is a very easy, but converting it into diorama is very difficult. अब ये थोड़ा सा ऊंचा करके पीछे दिखाना, then the bottom level of sea or the bottom level of that platform should be hidden. तो उसके ऊपर पत्थर कहाँ रखेंगे, कैसे रखेंगे, ये सब सोच के करना पड़ता है. You have to it's a trial and error method which takes you to the completion. And then the result comes, to my surprise, and it's a very happy moment for me. Abdul Kalam ji, I was not there, I couldn't go that at the time of his visit. When he was president, he visited Ram Darshan and he removed or asked all the paraphernalia to go away. And his words were, "This is my Rameshwaram, I want my alone photograph here." I don't know whether I have included that photograph, I don't remember. But that photograph is there. Abdul Kalam is standing like this and smiling. Next. ये राम रावण युद्ध का प्रसंग है. And this is the end of the Ram Darshan. Next, there is a sculpture of Ram Sita. And now we are at the hall number 5. There we have displayed the concept of Ram Rajya. वो वहाँ पे बताई है. It's in the form of calligraphy. In Sanskrit, Hindi and English, we are converting into Raj Mahal, like look will be given, and the same will remain there. So hall number 5 is this. Next. This is Nanaji's portrait, which you saw. Next. This is the interior of Ram Darshan. It looks like this. Now you saw this painting, this relief, and that painting also. Then you go into hall number 3. Next. Now this is the restoration work of Ram Darshan we are doing. He is Ashok Sonkusre, you might have read the name, who is a head sculptor, who was a student in JJ when I was teaching. We are taking out the sculptures which were fitted in the ground, specially prepared with different levels, and screwed in the cement ground. They are being taken out. Next. Here, some cleaning is going on. The background is being cleaned. Next. Here, the sculptures are carried to another room because people come and see every day. Few thousand people visit every day. So we can't work in their presence or when they are moving around. So all the sculptures were taken out. They were taken to the VIP room, which is in the same premises. So that is Sripal, who is carrying Rama. There is one another fellow who is carrying Vasishta, and the third fellow is carrying Lakshman. Here, we are doing some work on the background. It's a plaster background and covered with luster color and painted with oil color. Next. ये अब कई का रिपेंटिंग चल रहा है. I am finishing that. Next. That's last? No. So this is Ram Darshan. I think I was not prepared. I never imagined that I will have a lecture here. But for the meeting in Partagari Ashram for the next project, I had this PPT to explain them what is Ram Darshan. And that's why there is some mistake. It's not my complete work. Apart from doing these projects, I started writing from 2005. And my first article was Ram Darshan Ek Anubhav. Then consistently I am writing, and my 15th book will be published soon. Then I went into research. I did the encyclopedia of Bombay School in Marathi. Excuse me, Preet, ये किताब दिखा ना, encyclopedia. Then when Pandol saw the Dadiba Pandol, the artist here must be knowing Dadiba Pandol, who has a big auction house in India. He was at the time of inauguration in 2013. And after seeing Marathi book, he said, Marathi encyclopedia, he said, this is happening for the first time in India. And the function was, it was in Maharashtra, Mumbai, so it was in Marathi. He spoke these words in English. And then he said, हेचा कोणीतरी इंग्लिशमध्ये केला पाहिजे. Then he stopped for a few seconds and said, कोणतरी कशाला, मीच करेल. Why somebody, I will do it. And 2015, we started this work. And after 6.5 years, this encyclopedia is published, which covers all the important painters and sculptors of the Bombay School. Now, this encyclopedia is used by all the auction houses in Europe and America as far as Bombay School is concerned. They say this is our Bible for the artists in India and especially Bombay School. Then Preet in my CV spoke about Dhurandhar book, Dhurandhar exhibition, retrospective exhibition. Actually, this exhibition accidentally took place. Due to encyclopedia, I realized that M.V. Dhurandhar was one of the great painter or one of the most famous painter in our country after Ravi Verma. And 2017, his 150th birth centenary was coming. When I realized that I was chairperson of NGMA, I told my committee that the birth centenary of Dhurandhar, 150th birth centenary of Dhurandhar is approaching, and let us do something. So the question was what we should do. I said, let us do some retrospective exhibition because Dhurandhar's exhibition never happened. He exhibited his works, he painted for Imperial Secretariat in 1929. After that, Dhurandhar's daughter did some small exhibitions in the galleries like Bajaj Art Gallery. And his work was not shown any time before this exhibition took place. The question by the committee was, how we are going to do it? The director of the Mumbai NGMA, he said, we have only 3 works and we don't have a penny. Yes, that was fact. But suddenly a thought came to my mind and I said, we don't have money, we have only 3 paintings. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't celebrate 150th birth anniversary of M.V. Dhurandhar. How we are going to do it? Then my answer was, let us make a resolution and let us see how best we can do. And the outcome was the biggest exhibition in the history of NGMA. All the 5 stairs were full of his paintings, his books with the illustration, because he has did lot of books for lot of book illustrations for European writers also, British writers, Otto Rothschild. बहुत ही अच्छा काम उन्होंने किया था. His paintings, his sketches. After his first wife died due to plague in 1898, he was alone because nobody was there to carry the body. The dead body was in front of him. He always used to carry the sketchbook. He took out the sketchbook and did a sketch, which is there printed in this book. Bapu is dead, and the date is there. Then he married to another lady, and her drawings also and portraits also he made. That sketchbook is my wife in form of sketches. My 2 wives in form of sketches. It's like in 1942, when he was old, in 44 he died. So in 1942, he prepared this sketchbook. I mean, prepared one sketchbook of good papers and pasted all the sketches he did. The medals he got from different organizations. The gold medal, Bombay Art Society gold medal, he got in 1896 with the precious stones on it. That also came from, I mean, if things are destined, it's bound to happen. This is the example of that. We didn't had a penny, and nearly 85 lakhs were spent on the exhibition and the book. Mr. Vijay Kumar Agarwal, who is now 87, of Swaraj Art and Archive, I sent him a message. I sent a message to Ashish Anand of Delhi Art Gallery. I sent a message to the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis. And everybody came forward and the exhibition took place. And this book was published. It is out of print. This guy met me yesterday only, Preet. And he said, we want to buy this book. Sir, we are not getting it. So I just called Ashish Anand and he said, sir, we'll definitely print the 3rd edition. So 3rd edition will be there. This encyclopedia is available on Amazon or one can directly buy from Pandos. If your library doesn't have, please have it. Then the same thing happened about Bombay Art Society. Bombay Art Society was founded in 1888. And Bombay Art Society had its first exhibition in 1889 in Old Secretariat. That was Secretariat building. And Governor was patron. So it was allotted for the Bombay Art Society exhibition, the ground floor. The things were moved from ground floor to another places. And the exhibition took place. And from 1889, Bombay Art Society is the only society in India which is constantly working and exhibiting. At the time of 125th exhibition of Bombay Art Society, I did a retrospective exhibition of Governor award-winning paintings and gold-winning paintings. So you will find all the paintings which are in different museums, private collections. They are there in this book. And the fourth one, my 12th book, it's a research-oriented book on a revivalist movement in Mumbai in the visual art. Everybody knows about Bengal Revivalist School. In 1896, because of one second, I forgot the name. I uttered it in the beginning. Because of one British principal of Calcutta School of Art, the revivalist movement started. Abanindranath supported it. And Nandalal Bose and many others were followers who created wonders in wash technique, tempera technique. You might have seen the exhibition in NGMA, Haripura Congress paintings by Nandalal Bose. E.B. Havel, right, E.B. Havel in 1896. But nobody knows about such movement which took place in Mumbai in 1920, and that is Bombay Revivalist School. I was looking after JJ's collection. JJ has a fantastic collection dating from 1878. And when I was teaching there, and even today, I look after JJ's collection voluntarily. While seeing the paintings in JJ collection, I realized that some paintings are very different. And they attracted me. And from 1978, I got interested, and from 2006, I consciously collected the material to throw light on the revivalist movement. And this book was published 2 years back, which is History of Bombay Revivalist School. Kaletil Bharatiyatvachi Charva, the movement, art movement, the Bombay Revivalist School. Now it will be published in English also. So, if you keep your eyes open, you can come across many things. And if destiny wishes, your life can become useful for the subject you are working, for the society, art fraternity. And that's what I'm experiencing now. Thank you.
We have just witnessed a truly inspiring journey through the mind of a master artist. Bhaulkarji, your insights and experiences have enriched our understanding of art and its profound impact on the society. Your ability to weave together personal anecdotes with historical context has been both enlightening and captivating. On behalf of everyone here, extend our heartfelt gratitude for sharing your invaluable knowledge with us. Your words have resonated deeply, and we are certain that this talk will continue to inspire us long after we leave this hall. I know some of your minds are buzzing with questions and seeds for discussion with our esteemed speaker of the day. Before that, I would like to call upon a renowned artist and a close aide of Suhas Bhaulkarji, Uday Palatnikar sir, who is here today, who would like to speak a few words about this talk.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Multilingual, 2 words I will say, because crowd is like that. ಅಲ್ಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನ್ನಡ, ಹಿಂದಿ, ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್, ಮರಾಠಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So, जे जे आपणासी ठावे ते हळूहळू शिकवावे, शहाणे करून सोडावे सकळ जन ಅಂತ ಸಮರ್ಥ ರಾಮದಾಸ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಅವರದು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Whatever you know, part that knowledge with everybody and make their lives also enriched with knowledge is the meaning of this. ಅಂದರೆ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್, ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ರಿಲೇಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಗ್ರೋ ಟುಗೆದರ್ is the thought behind this, his teaching. So, when I came to know that Suhas is coming here, and immediately first thing struck was that it's time now for somebody like me. Now we are retired people now. How this baton can be taken forward by next generation, and that process also has to start, because our own experience ಬರೀ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕುಣಿಯೋದು ಅದು ಸರಿ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಥವಾ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ನಾವು. ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ರಿಚ್ ಇನ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಪರ್ಸಿವರೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಥಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು change with everybody's participation, and that whole new process has to start is what I thought. So immediately I contacted this place, and to a certain extent I had taken disadvantage of knowing Suhas so well, so I forced him to accept this event and made him come here. And I thought whatever, even if 20-25 jana bandrunu saku, but let the process start. That was my idea, and luckily he became free from all his other commitments, and we could spend beautiful time together, and we could connect with various people. Like, I mean, it is different experience, and as he also shared in his talk as to how things happened in Chitrakuta or while doing every painting and whatever. So I thought that let's come together, think together, work together. Let's start some new process in this system where everybody's knowledge becomes more enriched, and we enjoy each other's company and enjoy each other's knowledge and make progress further. That was my way of looking at bringing him here. And Sanjay ji came forward and he took charge of this situation, and this is what is happening today. And I'm sure many more such events will happen here, and we will have guidance from Suhas also henceforth. And there are many of us here in Bangalore also who will help us in coming and building a beautiful community, artist community, and we will grow together. Thank you so much. The reason I talked about this is that question and answer session, there will be question as to related with his activity and his work, but how we need to go further also, that advice we have to take from him is my advice to all you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We now have the privilege of engaging in a dialogue with Bahulkar ji. Please join me in thanking Bahulkar ji once again for his extraordinary presentation. And now let us open the floor for questions and a lively discussion. If you have a question.
Don't hesitate. Please feel free to open up and ask whatever questions you have in mind. Not just because he is my friend, but I know he is very friendly and down-to-earth person. And don't be scared. Even if you are making a mistake, that's how you are going to learn. Please feel free to ask questions.
Hello, sir. I'm just the beginner here. I have joined. My name is Amrita Kulkarni, and I have joined the classes near Sanjay sir since last May. I'm beginner in this field, so any suggestions for the beginners or tips and tricks, it would be helpful for us.
First suggestion is don't copy, do sketching. Right, Hariram? Hariram ji is here, very senior artist. भाई साहब है. स्केचिंग करोगे तो ही कुछ सीख पाओगे.
Okay, sir.
दूसरा सजेशन ये है कि देखा करो. वो गांधी जी के जो 3 बंदर हैं ना, वो दूसरी वजह से है. बुरा मत देखो, बुरा मत सुनो, बुरा मत बोलो. लेकिन हमें ये समझना चाहिए कि वी शुड फॉलो दैट वी मस्ट डू स्केचिंग. विदाउट ऑब्जर्वेशन वी कांट स्केच. इफ वी कांट अवॉइड आवर लेजीनेस, we can't go out. If we don't go out, we won't sketch. I told you the example of Mr. Dhurandhar. One Mr. Ganesh Shivaswamy from Bengaluru, who is an advocate, he has published 6 books on Ravi Verma. And I saw those books in 2 days at night. I was just taking a glance at the book. Ravi Verma's sketchbook, many sketches are there, preparatory sketches for his paintings. Some studies, कहीं बाहर गए हैं तो सामने दिखा वो स्केच किया. Maybe a cow, maybe a tree, maybe a creature. Even at the later stage, when he was established as Raja Ravi Verma, if he was doing sketching, how much we should do at this moment, at the beginning, think of it. So ये 2 चीज़ें जरूर करनी चाहिए. As a beginner, this is the thing. और देखा करो. Whenever there is exhibition, go and see. If you don't understand, ask. If you understand, try to take joy out of it, but at the same time learn out of it. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your golden words.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Varsha Dhananjay. I just wanted to ask, like, how different or difficult it will be, like sketching and this sculpture.
See, sculpture is a different discipline, but the base for all this is sketching.
Okay, sir.
Base is sketching. You train your eye when you sketch, but not only eye, along with hand. Eye is trained along with hand, and which is a training for the mind also, for the brain also. So unknowingly you are dealing with many of your limbs.
Okay, sir.
अब गाना गाते हैं तो केवल मुंह से नहीं गाते हैं, कान से सुनते हैं. Please.
Good afternoon.
Sir, is there any rule for sketching? I wanted.
Huh?
Any rules for sketching?
There is no rule. You should have a paper, you should have a pencil, pen, brush, चारकोल. अब हाथ से स्केच करेंगे तो कुछ दिखाई नहीं देगा ना. So this is the basic rule. You should have pencil and pen, and you should have an eye to see the interesting thing. There was one painter, artist, great painter, Prabhakar Barve, who used to draw dry leaves, who used to study dry leaves, sticks fallen on the ground, little pebbles, anything. The world is full of forms, full of colors, full of different shapes, full of different lines. Sketching is understanding a form, understanding the world. That is understanding the world. ये एक तपश्चर्या है.
Thank you, sir.
You said before painting, we have to study the subject. what it actually means study the subject? Should we first check what is unique feature in that person or what he has common? What we have to see, to get as it is.
Acha, are you talking about portrait?
Yeah, portrait or any
okay.
human
Yeah.
figures or scenery.
Yeah. Now, for instance, if you are doing a portrait of a living person, your friend may be, तुम्हारे फ्रेंड का अगर आप पोर्ट्रेट करना चाहती है तो वो सामने बैठ सकती है. Then you have to know how to do a drawing. What is the human anatomy? What happens after the light falls? The shade automatically created. The highlight is automatically created. The middle tone is automatically created. Then how the drapery forms according to the shape inside. It's a human body. The cloth is a thin thing. It takes the shape on what you keep it. So all these things one has to understand, and then you can draw whatever is sitting before you. Now suppose if you are doing a portrait of Lokmanya Tilak, and if you are doing a portrait of Vinoba Bhave or Mahatma Gandhi, both the personalities are different. So good portrait painter will think how I should treat this portrait. Now Gandhiji's portrait can't be done with a strong and very, what you can say, very furious strokes. अब वीरप्पन का बनाना होगा तो अलग स्ट्रोक चाहिए ना. गांधी जी और वीरप्पन कैसे सेम स्ट्रोक्स हो सकते हैं? गौतम बुद्ध का बनाना है तो गौतम बुद्ध का अगर चित्र बनाना है तो अलग तरीके से सोचना पड़ता है. तो यही चीज है. एंड सिमिलैरिटी ऑफ द मैन इज फर्स्ट स्टेप, बट द पर्सनैलिटी ऑफ अ पर्सन हु यू आर पोर्ट्रेइंग is a little upper step. Definitely upper step. First try to learn how to draw. सामने दिखती है चीज़ वो कैसे निकालनी चाहिए. And then you can move towards decorative element or distortion or abstraction. वो सब बाद में आता है, लेकिन पहले जो दिखता है वो निकालने को आना चाहिए.
Good evening. My name is Naik. I have one question to you. How important is basic education for an artist? Can anybody become without this education a great artist? Because I have not gone through any basic education in art, but still I am interested in the art. So sometimes I feel basic education is one of the necessity. Only I want to ask you.
Sure. There are many artists who didn't had education. What you have to understand is how to see the world, then how to draw it, and how to present it is understanding medium. Education gives you these three things. What you express is your own personality and your understanding. So you have to understand the medium, but medium can be used in various ways. Now Rabindranath Tagore never had art education, but he did paintings at the fag end of his life. Now also there are many artists who didn't had education, who were in other profession. Now Bhupen Khakkar, if you have heard the name, he was in the accounts field, but he is recognized painter. Dr. Sudhir Patwardhan, a good friend of ours, who was a co-editor in our encyclopedia. His education is in medicine, and he was practicing as a radiologist. But he understood medium. He understood form. He understood how to see and how to paint. And then he left the profession. Now he doesn't put Dr. Sudhir Patwardhan. He just says, I am Sudhir Patwardhan. And he has become a painter. There are many more examples like this. So if the urge is there, you can become artist, definitely. Do some work and exhibit here.
Good evening, sir.
Good
My
evening.
name is Divya. Sir, as an artist, what is the responsibility to this society?
See, as an artist, there are two trends. I am artist, I will do whatever I want. That is for oneself. But at the same time, as any other profession, serves in his own way to the society. Now, doctor treats the patient. Lawyer solves the problems. The teacher teaches. The social worker try to elevate the morals of the society. Farmer grows grain. So artist also has to do something. It's individual who can think what one can do. And artists are not performing their duties. That's why other fields are more popular than the visual art. When we are showing finger to others, the four fingers are towards us. We have to remember that. And including me, we are not doing that. My Ram Darshan was an effort of a teamwork. In the past, the wonders are created by our ancestors in the form of caves like Ajanta, the temples like Belur Haribid. It was a teamwork. And with the arrival of Britishers, we have forgot to come together and work. That is the tragedy. We have become extremely individualistic. What I feel, that is the only thing we are thinking. I want to do this, I want to do that, I like this, I don't like this. Raman Maharshi has once asked a question to a European press reporter. I forgot his name. I will remember. And he came and met Raman Maharshi and said, Raman Maharshi asked, why you have come here to India, to our country? So he said, in search of knowledge. Okay, that first answer was okay. And then he started uttering sentences after sentences, which was beginning with I. After listening for some time, Raman Maharshi asked, do you know what is this I? It's probably a question to a humanity right from its beginning. And in upper Vedas, it is said, Koham, who am I? So first try to search, who am I? And that search never ends. Life ends, but that search is constant. We are going to very serious approach.
Good evening, sir. Sudha Ravi Kumar. I have two questions, if I may.
Sure.
One is a few words from you about. Sorry, I'll go to my second question, sir.
Okay.
What is the, like, for an artist or a painter, how easy or how difficult is it to be a sculptor too?
See, basically, sculpture is a medium. Painter deals with line and color. Sculptor deals with form and dimensions. And both can be done.
Is knowing just the anatomy of the body is enough for a sculptor or any other?
No, you have to understand the sculpture medium also.
Okay, sir.
See, if you are working in a clay, I will give you one example. There is one sculpture in the encyclopedia, I will show you. Just take out Karmarkar from the encyclopedia. K. No, color section. I'll show you with the example.
Okay,
and
sir.
The facts in the fact.
Yes.
That one. This one. Show this one. This is the first equestrian statue of Shivaji Maharaj made by an Indian sculptor. Prior to that, no equestrian statue, one-piece sculpture was created. This was a wonder in 1928. At the same time, Karmarkar's teacher and a great sculptor about whom Rabindranath Tagore has written 3 articles, G.K. Mhatre. Just check out, go a little before. Come here. This one. See this Shivaji Maharaj sculpture,
Yes,
lower
sir.
one. He was Karmarkar's teacher and he was one of the great sculptors who broke the tradition of bringing sculptors to sculpt the royal families of India or the monumental sculptures of India. In 1897, he made one sculpture to the temple. It should be there. You will see, I will read about G.K. Mhatre also. This is to the temple, and the left-hand side is Parvati Shabri, which was exhibited in Paris and got a top award. So Mhatre was also a great sculptor. But while executing Shivaji Maharaj sculpture, Mhatre forgot to put some supports inside. There is one structure inside, then there are supporting things to put clay on it. And when it is hanging out, in the technical language it is called butterfly.
Okay.
That means a wooden putty nailed like this, and with the wire it is hanged. And the clay is put on it, so
Okay.
that shape holds the clay. While sculpting, Mhatre forgot to put those, or he didn't put it in the sufficient supports at the back of the horse. And when he completed sculpture and called all his friends, Dhurandhar was also there, and the committee, suddenly that backside portion, clay fall down. It was in a clay. And that was setback in Mhatre's life. So, I'm telling you this example, you have to be technically perfect also. And ultimately, Karmarkar did the sculpture. Mhatre's sculpture remained in the studio, and then it was bought by Sayaji Rao Maharaj, and it is in Baroda now. Both are fantastic sculptures. Both were fantastic sculptors. Mhatre was Guru, Karmarkar was his pupil. But sometimes it happens. So, no, there is no difference between painting and sculpting. There is a difference of medium.
Okay, sir.
Understanding is same.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for those who asked questions, and sir, for your enlightening answers and for the patience. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks for this opportunity to meet you, to talk to you. And I'm sorry that I didn't brought my complete voyage. It was just just an example which I wanted to show to the committee here for the project.
So we have a small token of gratitude for you.
Oh.
I hope you like it.
Thank you.
So this is from Ashwath Narayan, sir. Thank you, sir. As we formally draw close to the event, I would like to thank the Almighty for making today's occasion a resounding success. First and foremost, I express our deepest gratitude to our esteemed guest, Suhas Bahulkar ji, who took his time and effort for the presentation. Your journey through the world of art has been an inspiration to all of us. Your ability to share your knowledge and passion with such eloquence is truly commendable. We are honored to have had the opportunity to learn from you today. My heartfelt thanks to our well-wishers, Shri Arakalli Venkatesh Prasad, the Secretary, Indian Institute of World Culture, for being ever so supportive to all our events and for encouraging and motivating us constantly. On behalf of the art fraternity gathered here today, I take the honor to thank Sanjay sir and Uday sir for having been the brain behind organizing this knowledgeable session amongst many other initiatives that they take up to enrich knowledge in the field of art. Last but not the least, I thank all the distinguished invitees present here for accepting our invitation. All the members from the art fraternity who are here to bless us today, thank you all once again. I would like to thank the staff of Indian Institute of World Culture for their continual help in putting up this talk. Thank you and namaskar.